I live in a community in Eugene, Oregon that is fiercely and proudly local in terms of how it likes to operate as a community. And I know people that raise their own beef, and I think that makes a huge difference.
What's up, everybody? My name is Natalie, and I'm here with Bess, and today we're going to be talking a bit about climate change. So you said you do believe in climate change. How bad do you think it is currently? Like, what's the state of it?
I think if I had to rate climate change on a 1 to 10 scale, I'd think we're like an 11 right now.
Wow,
yeah, I think we're not paying attention. It's scary. It's very scary out there.
I would agree with you. So is there anything we can do as individuals to kind of help the climate crisis, or do you think it's mostly like corporations, government's responsibility?
Well, I think it's everyone that lives on this planet. Everyone has some responsibility. Can we affect change just as individuals? Yes, a little bit, but we really need our big corporations to be making some huge changes, because they're the ones that can make it more quickly than as individuals. Yes, we can come together, we can, protest, unite, all of that, but I think our big corporations need to really step it up for us.
Yeah, I would agree with you that it's definitely both, right? Like maybe we have some power as individuals, but then we also have to think like corporations are also made up of individuals, and they're providing products that we as individuals like demand. So there's one industry that I feel like people don't talk about as much when they should be about climate change. This study came out of Oxford in 2018, and it said that there was one single way that pretty much everyone could change their behavior to reduce their impact on the climate the most. Do you know what that might be?
Stop eating meat.
You got it.
That's it.
What do you think about that?
I think, having a plant-based diet and getting away from meat would make all of us as individuals and our planet healthier. And I know some people don't believe that, and I know there's a lot of money to be made, but yes, definitely. I live with two very devout vegans, and I'm constantly reminded that, hey, we could step up our game and stop eating meat.
Yeah, totally. So do you know what it is about animal agriculture that has such a big effect on the environment, like specifically?
Well, I'm assuming methane and deforestation. I'm sure there's more, but I'm thinking those are the two.
Yeah, absolutely. So everyone kind of knows about methane with the cows and the farts, and deforestation is pretty much driven by animal agriculture. A lot of people know that they're raising the rainforest to grow soy, so they think it has to do with vegans eating soy, but it's actually soy being fed to pigs and chickens, and then a lot of the land is used to raise cattle. But I think some of the things that people don't think about that they should are the resources that these animals consume throughout their lives. So they have to be fed, they have to drink a lot of water. So basically consuming a vegan diet, you're using 15 times less plants than if you were on like an omnivore diet. Yeah, so I think that's a big part of it as well. So what do you think would have more of an impact? Like, would it be better for the environment to eat local meat or to buy fruit and vegetables, say transported from like a different state or a different country?
Well, I live in a community in Eugene, Oregon that is fiercely and proudly local in terms of how it likes to operate as a community. And I know people that raise their own beef, and I think that makes a huge difference. Eating local, eating stuff that's sourced close to me rather than more trucks on the road, more refrigeration, more fuel, etc.
Yeah, totally. And that's kind of what I thought as well before I looked into it, because you would think of course local cow would be better, because it's not transported. But when it comes to animal farming, only about 5% of emissions comes from transport. The rest comes from the raising of the animal. So it's almost counterintuitive. There was this study that it was done in Sweden, and it was determining what's better for the environment, eating a tomato grown in Sweden or eating a tomato grown in Spain. And what would you guess? Just
Spain? Just because it's warm?
Yeah, exactly. So in Sweden, when they're growing the tomatoes, they have to do it indoors, so that uses more energy. But when it's transported from Spain, a lot of people think that food is transported via plane, but it's typically by boats, so it's less of a footprint. So that's just a myth that I wanted to clear up, that local meat doesn't really have that much of a difference. So you said that you live with two vegans, is that right?
Well, my daughters are grown-ups and they don't live with me, but yes, they are devout vegans.
And what would stop you from going vegan?
Well, We do actually eat a pretty plant-based diet at our home. When we're out, I do slip and eat some cheese and stuff like that. Sometimes an ice cream. So what prevents me is really just purely lack of discipline.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
Do you think you have to be disciplined to be vegan?
I think life is all about small habits and small changes. And then when I say this is what I'm doing, and I just, think about it, I'm conscious. I think, do I really need to eat this? Do I need to put cheese on my sandwich? Do I need to? Usually the answer is no. And so when I do it step by step like that, then it just becomes a habit and it's just what I do.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right that, habits are really important. And for me, I don't have any self-discipline pretty much. I kind of have built it with habits, but I'm really lazy. So I remember thinking I couldn't go vegan. I don't have what it takes. And for me, what changed was really learning about the industry and what happens to animals. So do you know much about dairy cows, what they go through or anything?
Oh yeah, no, it's just the saddest. I mean, in order to get milk, a mammal has to continue lactating, and in order to continue lactating, you have to get pregnant, and then people don't think about how sad that is. That baby's born and that baby's taken away, and that's just horrific.
It really is. And I mean, I think definitely a lot of people don't think about it, but a lot of people don't know about it. When I was growing up, I remember being told that cows just had a bunch of milk, and if they weren't milked, they would feel pain. So I think there's definitely, and I interview people a lot, most of them don't even know that they have to be forcibly impregnated and the babies are taken away. But yeah, it's really awful. So do you think your enjoyment of the products, does that justify putting animals through that process?
No, they're sentient beings. It's just not okay on many levels. So yeah, my beautiful daughter McKenna, she taught me years ago. I thought, well, I drink organic milk, so that must be better, right? And then she discussed, still, Mom, here's what's going on. Actually, to be organic, they're not treated with antibiotics when they're sick. If they have mastitis or something like that, then they can end up with a systemic infection and die. They're in pain, and then again, the babies are still taken away. And I was like, oh no, It was horrible. But I was grateful for someone just giving me that. I just didn't know. I didn't know.
Yeah, and that's why I come out here and educate people. So you sound pretty ready to go vegan, I think. Do you think you could make the switch or what?
I easily can. Okay. Yes, I easily can.
Will you?
I do here and there. I'll go for a number of months and then I'll slip off and I'll have some eggs on toast or, but I feel like just for, personal reasons, for philosophy, that I am not perfect, but if someone said to me today, this is absolutely the last time you ever get to do any of this, no animal products, I'd be like, okay, I can do that.
Nice. Yeah, and it kind of sounds daunting when you think about it that way, but when you take it meal by meal, it gets a lot easier. Cool. So if you could live a life where you intentionally harmed humans, intentionally harmed animals, or neither, which would you choose?
Oh, I would not. I can't harm anything. I have to save spiders, so I can't. I would. That would be. And when it's front and center for me, I can't do it. Yeah.
So do you think by consuming these animal products, is it kind of going against that idea?
It is, absolutely. There's a wonderful show called Magic for Humans, and the magician Justin, he does this taste test of fake bacon, and he's just out on the streets in his tent, and people come up and he's like, do you want some free bacon? And they're like, yes. So then kind of in the end he ends up magically producing a little piglet, which is so cute, and then he says, would you like to eat the bacon now? And then the people are just, the association of looking at that cute piglet and the bacon, they were like, no, I can't eat that now. And I think we need those types of imageries and examples.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing that really I was vegan, but then what made me become an activist was watching footage of what the animals go through. Have you ever watched a documentary?
Yep. Vegucated. Have you seen that one? I don't know. Oh, yeah. It's definitely what started us down that vegan path 10 years ago. And again, sometimes I'm not as devout as I know I need to be. And now after this interview, I'm going to be like, oh, all right, back.
Well, that's my goal, so I appreciate it. Well, do you have any questions for me? Anything I can help with or resources to give you or anything?
No, I don't think so. No, I love that you're out here doing this. I think it's fantastic. Don't stop. Yeah, appreciate a good conversation about it, and I hope that maybe if anyone sees this, they'll they'll watch a couple documentaries. They're powerful, and it makes us think, and thinking is important.
And Vegucated is one you'd recommend?
Yes, yep.
All right, well, thank you so much, Bess. I truly appreciate it.
Be well.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and become a patron today. If you missed yesterday's video, click to the left.